says, I object, and this should be dismissed. And in her filing, she was explaining, she says, I've got judicial immunity. Nothing you can do about me. She found no authority to bar this prosecution, and she rejected Judge Dugan's argument as unprecedented and unauthorized.
A sitting judge tried to get her felony case tossed by claiming she was immune to the very law she enforces. Her defense? I'm just doing my job. But the courts didn't buy it, not for a second. They made it clear. This wasn't about a judicial ruling or proper judicial conduct. This was straight-up obstruction. Now, robe or not, she's heading to trial. If you help someone run from ICE, you'll be in handcuffs before they even hit the exit. But this judge, she said that was part of her job, helping a defendant dodge federal agents. This case could have disappeared quietly, but the court said, nah, you're not special. Let's break this down. This isn't about politics. Sure, it might look that way because Judge Dugan clearly had her own views on immigration policy and wanted to interfere. But this isn't political, it's about power. It's about some people thinking they're above the law. Judge Hannah Dugan isn't some random name or fringe activist. She's a sitting judge in Milwaukee County. She's got a robe, a bench, and the authority to decide people's fates. And with that authority comes the responsibility to uphold the law. But her past decisions haven't exactly inspired confidence. Remember T-Main Jones? In 2021, he was charged with resisting arrest and stealing a Cara, violent offender making terrible choices. Instead of jail, he got a deferred prosecution deal, and who signed off on that deal in April 2025? Yep, Judge Dugan. Fast forward to June. Jones allegedly ambushed two officers, killed one, left the other fighting for his life. This wasn't a random incident. It was a calculated ambush, a real cautionary tale about soft justice gone wrong. So, yeah, her track record is shaky. But let's get back to the case at hand, the one she's trying to dismiss now. What did she actually do? She let an undocumented defendant slip out the back door while federal immigration agents were stationed right at the front.
Claimed the judge escorted Flores Ruiz out a private jury door to help him evade arrest. A week later, federal agents charged Judge Dugan with obstructing a federal investigation, arresting her at the courthouse.
That's not discretion, that's evasion. And her excuse? She didn't deny it. She just claimed it shouldn't count. Which doesn't make much sense because that's not how the rest of us get treated. This wasn't some mix-up or misunderstanding. This was a deliberate move, going against the very system she's supposed to uphold and protect. If you or I did the same thing, we'd be fighting felony charges before the ink dried on the report. She thought her role made her untouchable. Turns out that was a bad bet. ICE doesn't play around with interference. Over the past few weeks, we've seen countless videos emotional clashes between ICE and their opponents. People have been charged just for warning someone ahead of time. If you do anything that interferes with ICE, you're in trouble. Open the door and help someone escape. That's obstruction. That's a felony. You might be thinking, well, she's a judge. Maybe it's different. Nope. Because in that moment, she wasn't ruling on the case. Her motion to dismiss failed. For exactly that reason, she wasn't acting as a judge issuing a ruling. She was helping someone dodge custody. And when you do that, no matter what your title is, you're acting like a civilian interfering with law enforcement, not a judge. And we all know what happens to civilians who interfere with law enforcement. They go to jail.
Kind of like a judge sitting up there and saying, I have immunity for committing crimes, but you don't.
So we cannot pretend that the lines are blurry here.
So, let's be real, there's no blurry line here. She made a choice. The law says it's a felony. That fancy title before her name doesn't change that fact. Now, let's talk about what happened when she got called out. Did she say, I didn't do it? Nope. Did she say it was a mistake? Nope. She said, you can't charge mime, a judge? That's the defense, not denial, just immunity. Judicial immunity is real, but it's not a force field. It protects judges from lawsuits and criminal charges for doing their official job, issuing rulings, managing the courtroom, deciding motions. Example, a judge throws out a case that a plaintiff thinks is unfair, then gets sued. That's when immunity protects judges, so they aren't scared to make tough calls. But this wasn't a ruling. No court order, no written motion, no docket entry, just a nod in the hallway and a quiet exit. That's not judging, that's sidestepping. When a judge signs a bench order, immunity applies. When a judge waves someone past ICE agents after court, no immunity. Immunity covers judicial acts, not after-hours stunts. Judge Dugan got it wrong. In simple terms, judges aren't immune from criminal prosecution for acts completely outside their official roles. That makes sense even if a judge's actions relate to official duties. There's no immunity for criminal law violations. When she claimed otherwise, she turned immunity into a joke. This isn't the first time a judge tried this stunt. Back in 2007, New York Supreme Court Justice Gerald Garson got caught taking cash and cigars to rig divorce cases. He claimed immunity, saying it was part of his duty to take bribes. The court shut that down fast. Once you start taking bribes, you're not judging, you're hustling. Immunity won't save you. Dugan's, I'm a judge. You can't touch me defense hit a brick wall. The DOJ wasn't buying it. They said her immunity claim was so vague it would let judges do anything under the guise of official duty. They warned that would let judges break the law and hide behind the bench. Magistrate Judge Nancy Joseph was clear. Judges get civil immunity when making court decisions, but this isn't a civil case. It's criminal. Immunity doesn't block prosecution for crimes. Her team tried to spin it. Prosecuting her would discourage judges from doing their jobs. But history says otherwise. Judges have faced charges for bribery, fraud, corruption, and immunity never saved them. The hearing ended. The bench was empty. Her judicial authority was done for the day, and that's when she allegedly helped someone. Out the back door, no ruling, no transcript, no court action, just a hand gesture, a door, and silence. The court saw right through it. This wasn't judicial conduct. This was just conduct. She said she was just doing her job, but the job was done usually. The system protects its own with quiet deals, soft landings, or the next judge up. But this time, her motion was denied. That matters. It sends a warning to every official watching. Your title doesn't give you a free pass. Judicial immunity isn't a cheat code. It lets judges do hard work without fear. But it doesn't let them sidestep the law. You enforce the law. Great. But when you break it, you face the same music as the rest of us. That's the problem with power and influence. The elites bend rules and act shocked when someone says, nope, not this time. Skip court. Get a warrant. Block ICE. Get arrested. Help someone escape. Get a felony. But when you're in the club, suddenly it's all a gray area. No, it's just crooked. People are tired of pretending otherwise. What happens now? No more hiding under legal jargon? No more official duty loopholes, Judge. Dugan is going to trial. Like, she should no guarantees on conviction. But she has to face the process like everyone else. No robe first. Facts later. No elite carve-outs, one system. One law. We'll see how it plays out. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking with me. If you like this kind of content and haven't subscribed yet, hit that button. Check out my newsletter and Patreon if you want to follow the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.